Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Good morning. Gonna post a little quick video on another 10 perfect albums. This is my part two, but these are funk albums. These are party albums. These are albums I bought. I bought all of these new when they came out. I was in high school or junior high. I was buying funk. I later moved to a lot more rock, but I also had a very big funk collection. I heard funk all over town, funk in school where I went. So I really dug it. It was also the disco era, so funk and disco kind of blended. These are all dance albums. These are all party albums. I consider these perfect party albums. And someone at the studio suggested I wear an old jacket, disco funk jacket, probably from late 70's, early 80's. So got this on as a little tribute to my funk brothers right here, brothers and sisters. So we're going to get on with it. I'm just going to talk real quick about them, show the labels. If you see them out there in the wild, you'll recognize them, pick them up. You might get a deal. You just have to check condition because these are party albums, and we know party albums don't really tend to move to a record store in good condition. Now, I'm not cheating here. There's no James Brown. James Brown, the king of funk. He started it all. But these are bands from the 70's. We'll get to James Brown in another edition of perfect albums because he has plenty of perfect albums. First one up, Mass Production. They're on Cotillion. This was a Warner distribution. Mass Production was big in the 70's. This is a cutout. I bought this for probably $1.50, $1.99 back in the day. Here's the label. Really good heavy funk. And you can see there's horns in this band. It's the whole ensemble. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people that are grooving here. Most of the funk bands were big because they had a horn section. Here's another one that's from Jersey. And the Isley Brothers. They have their own label distributed by Columbia, and that was T-Neck label. They were from T-Neck, New Jersey, and they started out in the 50s. And I believe Jimi Hendrix played in their backup band back in the day. So anything Isley Brothers I pick up. This has Who's That Lady, 3+3, and here's a gatefold. Highly suggest that this is a mint copy. Picked this up, I believe, in college, but this was from the high school years. Here's another great band from the 70's, Average White Band. They're famous for Pick Up the Pieces, and a lot of these members went on to play with rock band. They played with, I believe, McCartney, a lot of British bands. This is a British group, Average White Band. Here's the spine. There's the back. It's like a sketch there. Has a really nice inner with information on the band and photos. Right there. You can see that. I'll show you the label. It's Green and Red Atlantic from the 70's. Here's a stellar party record. These are hard to find. I've had this since high school. Johnny Guitar Watson, a real mother for you. Here he is with his ladies. It's all set up, probably his backup singers. And you can see the plate is right there. Johnny Guitar Watson on his little, forget what these are called, but the soapbox derby type of thing. And this guy could really play guitar. If you don't know Johnny Guitar Watson, check him out. He's the mother of all funk. He has a song on here called Tarzan, Lover Jones, only 3 tracks on side 2. So this only clocks in about 17 minutes on side 2. So it really has a nice bass to it. Really has a funk to it. There's the label. This is on a label out of Buffalo, which was Amherst Transcontinental Records. It says 355 Harlem Road, Buffalo, New Jersey. I didn't know that until I started pulling these. Okay, here's another great one, perennial party record, Brothers Johnson. It's all you heard in my high school back in the 70's when this was out. Brothers Johnson, it's a Quincy Jones production before he got involved with Michael. he may have been involved with the Jackson 5, but this is 70's. This is a I believe 77 or something, whatever. But here's a little booklet inside that you come with. You don't really get a lot of booklets in with funk. It's usually a poster or a lyric sheet, but this has a little nice booklet. Quincy Jones had a lot of money. They really pushed this record. This record was a perennial top hit when it came out, right on time. The Brothers Johnson, really good funk guitar. So pick that one up. Label was on A&M, Q Productions, Herb Albert's company, right there. And the next one is not on a lot of radar, but it's the Crown Heights Affair. If you look up Crown Heights on YouTube, you're gonna get, or on Google, you get Crown Heights, the film of the same name. So you really have to dig a little deeper, and that's on D-Light Records. D-Light Records, as you know, was basically soul, and this is a really cool record. They have saxophone, trumpet, horns. It has 8 or 9 guys in the band. It's a 75, and it's a division of Pickwick. So that was kind of odd that Pickwick had a label that actually carried some really top hits. This was probably top 40 in this soul and funk disco arena. So some great photos of the band. This is a classic. This was a really hard record to find. Got this since it was new. He did a lot of novelty stuff. E-Man Groovin', the Jimmy Castor Bunch. And you look up Jimmy Castor, he's got a lot of really crazy records, all with a funk bass, heavy on the bass. This is Atlantic from 76. Got the little, it's probably a Yamaha, maybe. It doesn't look maybe a Harley, but the Jimmy Castor Bunch featuring the Everything Man. Jimmy was unbelievable funky. Here's the Inner, Atlantic Inner, and this record is pristine. It's hard. These are hard to find in really nice condition, so start digging. But you could always dig them on YouTube. But if you get the vinyl, you're going to have a really fun time. Here's one of my favorites, Do It Till You're Satisfied, BT Express, funk disco era, as you can see from the outfits. This is also 74 on Roadshow. It's a gatefold record. This is a really funky record. I love Do It Till You're Satisfied. It's just got a beat that doesn't slow down. It also has Once You Get It, Do You Like It? It has Express, horns, bass, like that Crown Heights I didn't mention. It has a Shaft, the theme from Shaft type groove throughout the whole record. It's just, the drums are mic'd perfectly. It just sounds so good. And these are all 70 pressings. Here you see the custom label. Let me show you that. I know a lot of YouTube guys don't hold up the labels, but I kind of saw the labels when I was watching a lot of VC, and I thought that was a nice thing to do. So I'm really interested in labels. I have a video that I did with my brother-in-law, Big John, cheers, that we talked about labels. So because of John, I'm really trying to educate everyone, tell everyone about the labels. They're a lot of fun to search the labels. You can also tell the pressing with the. Here's someone that something that everyone knows: Earth, Wind, and Fire. This was the original soundtrack from That's the Way of the World, and this is just a fantastic record. This probably sold 5 million copies or more, 10 million copies when it came out. Shining Star, That's the Way of the World, Seasons, Africano. Now, I remember when I was in a record store, we probably sold 50 to 100 of these a day. We would get boxes, and they would come in 25 record boxes back then, maybe even 50. Some of the bands shipped. I'm not sure if this shipped, but some of the bands like Jackson Brown, Late for the Sky, shipped in a box that had the logo of Late for the Sky on it. Now it's a collector's item, that box. But these sold in the hundreds. We sold these daily. Here's the inner, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. I've got all of the Earth, Wind, and Fire. Any one of these could have been on one of my Perfect Funk records, but I took this one out because that's the way of the world. I also love the one with Superstar on it, and this has actually two big hits. That's the way of the world, Shining Star. I'm thinking Superstar. Maybe I'm thinking of another funk band. But anyway, you all know these guys, and a couple of them just passed away a few years back. So this is one of the greatest funk bands of all time. Bands. Now the next one is a tragic band. They were actually the backing band for Otis Redding when Otis Redding went down in his two-engine plane. It was a Beechcraft H-18. It had two propellers, two engines, and in December 10th, 1967, plane went down. And the Barkays, which is coming up, was Otis's band, and I think one person survived, which was Ben Cowley. They said he held on to a chair, like the cushion from a chair, and when the plunge, he must have came up and was able to hold on till rescuers got there. The funny thing was that the band were in two different planes, or they actually transported themselves separately. So a few of the band members still survived, as well as Ben, and they later reformed. And this is one of the records. This is a DJ promo record. I bought this used. I didn't get this when it came out in high school. This is a fabulous record. Sounds really good. And it actually, when you look at the cover, you can actually see the things that were happening in the 70s. You had space exploration and kind of like throwing money away. The money didn't go to the cities, to the people. The money went to exploration. You have guys shooting up drugs here. You have police perhaps shooting. You have a Black Power symbol here. You have guys in the militia from right here with the American flag. Guys that went to Nam from the cities, from the right out of high school. A lot of guys didn't go to college, and they went right into the military, right into Nam. They were actually drafted. So this album has a really cool graphic to it, and this is called "Do You See What I See?" Very funky, very strong rhythm and blues. This is a mono pressing. It's a promo on Volt, and I was lucky enough to find this in super condition. The cover's a little beat up, VG. This says, let me see, mono, DJ copy not for sale, but it's not a white label, but it's a great Volt. And there we have it. What can I say? Just party to it. It's funk, just like this jacket's funk. So I want a shout out to Otis Redding and his band. Rest in peace. We lost some great people there. Not too many people talk about Otis Redding's band, but they were with him at the time of the crash. And Otis, I believe, was 26 or 27 when he went down. I'm sure the Barkays were even younger. They may have been younger than him. Isaac Hayes had a lot to do with the Barkays. I think they backed Isaac Hayes. I think Isaac Hayes also was very instrumental in getting the rest of the band on the road. They did a lot of songs by Isaac. They have some great tunes on here. It ain't easy. I was made to love her. They do a lot of covers on this record. There's one I was seeing before. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Be yourself. Alan Jones wrote that. So a lot of Isaac Hayes in here. And my record that I'm going to pick for an OG pressing that you have to buy, that sounds great. It's also a funk record in with the show today. And that's this one, Ohio Players, Gold. This was gold in 70s. And you read the songs, it doesn't even have all their hits in the 70s. they would churn out records every probably 2 records a year, and we shipped these. We sold hundreds of these a day to all people, all walks of life. I bought it. It was all walks of life, men, female, professors, lawyers. Everyone loved the Ohio Players. And this has Love Roller Coaster, Skin Tight, Fire, Sweet Sticky Thing, Only a Child Can Love. I believe they had one other album that was a hit in the 70s that may have not been on here. That's a great cover. They always had beautiful women on their cover. This is a gatefold right there. Still perfectly, able to be shown on YouTube. It's not anything, naked, but it's just a great. They always had risque covers. And here's the label on Mercury. I did a video on with the Honey album. I showed the Honey album, which is on here. Skin Tight, Fire, Sweet Sticky Thing from Honey. And here's the jacket. So there you have it. And if you take away anything from today's session, it's that these funk albums were perfect party records. You put them on, it's like having a reel-to-reel on at the time. They were made to play right through. There may have been a ballad thrown in, but with the ballads, people would slow down. They would slow dance. They would maybe track it to the next track if they wanted to get down. But these are great funk records, and I hope you like this edition. I just try to keep it real, trying to tell you the truth. I'm not going into too much detail anymore. But look these up. They're all great. They're all from the 70s, and I hope you like these 10 perfect albums. These are my 10 perfect albums. Your 10 perfect albums I could talk about could be anything. You may not like a track or two on these albums. Then you might say it's not perfect, but you know what? Based on what we have coming out of today's music, a lot of the stuff that I don't really understand, it's more created in the studio with different types of electronics and gizmos and technology. These bands were real. These bands toured in a bus. They toured together. They lived together. Most of these bands were 8 or 10 people, so they weren't making a lot of money, because you got to feed 10 or 12 people plus the crew, plus the record company. But they gave their heart and soul to their music, and it just lives on. What I really like about doing these shows is I'm able to find records in my collection that I didn't even think are playing. Now I'm going to track a lot of these later on today and this week as I pull them. And I'm going to get back into the groove, man. So keep rocking, and thanks a lot for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments, leave a like, and we'll see you next time. So Tony's LPs are out. We're clocking in almost 19 minutes. It's kind of long, but that's how it goes. Ciao. And as always, keep rocking and keep funking. Thank you.